Good. That was really bad.
Good morning from Josephine and crew. Man, Josephine is ready. She's ready for Shabbat.
Yeah, but Josephine needs to do her own damn hair.
She don't know how to.
She's not even clean today. Yesterday I had a really good one. It was all...
Do you guys have a Josephine too?
Josephine is the Jew curl.
Josephine is the Jew curl.
She has been named Josephine the Jew curl.
Just like does whatever she wants.
You don't have to be Jewish to have a Jew curl.
It's true. You could be Jewish and you can have a lot of Jew curls. I just happen to have one. And her name is Josephine.
She likes to hang out right on that side over there.
Mm-hmm. I ain't got my junk in my trunk, but I got a Josephine on my Jew curl.
I literally have no idea what we're talking about today. I don't even know what that means. I said, sometimes when we have the ideas of topics, we write them down. Sarit writes most of them down. And today, I said, hey, what's the topic? Let me type it on my phone. And she goes, what did you say? Are you holding on to a lot of stuff?
Do you keep around lots of stuff?
Do you keep around lots of stuff? I changed the title to, you got junk in your trunk?
Yep.
But that doesn't mean I have any idea what we're talking about. So let's see what happens.
So, for one,
good morning.
Good morning, you guys. For one, what we're going to discuss today might piss off some people. And if it pisses you off, for one, that is not our intention. Our intention is to bring out the truth from our own set of eyes and from what we've noticed having coaching people. So remember this. Today's conversation is related to mindset. It is a Mindset Monday conversation simply because on Monday we will not be having Mindset Mondays due to Yom Kippur. Josephine, Erin, and I, we're all going to be, taking the day to reflect with regards to all of our actions this previous year. If you're not Jewish, maybe you might not be aware, but this is the start of the Jewish year. So last week we started the Jewish New Year, and going into Sunday night, we have, from Sunday to Monday, we have a day of reflection where it's like you want to start the year off fresh, right? And in order to do so, you want to basically like wash off anything that you've done the previous year that was not in alignment with who it is that you want to become. Okay, so this is a day that we take very seriously. We just disconnect with the universe and the world to reconnect with our own universe and ourselves so that we can be even better humans for you for this coming year. Okay?
Are we going to yell at them today?
Why do you feel like yelling today?
Well, if you say it's going to piss some people off, come closer to me. Oh, that's as
close
as you
as
get?
I can get.
Dang, close ain't close enough. When we get passionate, our voices raise. And I think it's just more dramatic to say, are we going to yell at them? Because what I want to say is that should we get passionate in any episode, as you know, it is us talking to who we used to be the way that we needed to hear it. Mm-hmm. And that's what we know. But I have a feeling that's also something that you appreciate about this show and what we have to deliver. So let's get to it.
Yeah. So, who has ever watched a show, I think it's on TLC, called like The Hoarder Life?
Hoarders.
Yeah,
Hoarders. It's called Hoarders, I think.
My gosh. Those people are freaking crazy. Like they're on the end of crazy.
Okay, I see this is gonna piss some people off.
This conversation might piss off people, but I hope that it sheds light on you so that you can start thinking a little bit differently. But, you know, today we're going to talk about, you know, letting things go. Okay. So who has ever watched a show on TLC called Hoarders, where, I mean, those people are so obsessed.
That's like the extreme.
They're so obsessed with, I mean, they're so scared of change that they hold on to everything. Like any single piece of newspaper or anything that, you know, like, who knows, maybe the wrapper of the Kirkland protein bar that they ate 10 years ago. Right? But, you know, think about those people. So they're like at the end of the spectrum with regards to, you know, being scared of letting things go. So I want you to, you know, if you've never watched a show, then maybe you should watch it for like 5 minutes. You probably won't want to watch it after 5 minutes unless you find it super intriguing, because to be honest, it's pretty depressing. Just saying, at least from my own point of view. But
some of them have a little bit of OCD mixed in.
Well, they do have an OCD, right? I think we all have an OCD to some extent. It's just, how do we choose to act upon our OCD, and do we choose to heal ourselves away from it? For anybody who's watching this who is obsessed with working out, bitch, you got an OCD, and I do too.
Look, I want to like make sure we're not using that acronym lightly as well. Like, there is a real condition that people have, and it's really sad. So I don't want to like use that term as a joke, but more just for your understanding of kind of what we're talking about, what we're describing. It's like obsessive. You're obsessive about something and you're hanging on to it, right?
I used to have really bad OCD. I'm going to share that with you like for just 1 second, because that's not the point of the show. But when I competed in tennis, I used to have a terrible OCD, and it's interesting because when I was the most competitive in tennis that I ever was, back then I was 14 years old. That's when I started like the really nasty part of my disordered eating patterns, and I had a few OCDs when I was on the court.
I would say you had obsessive patterns because of superstition.
Yes.
Like your life wasn't going to be ruined.
No.
And it's not something that you had to do as like a daily thing.
Right.
But anyways, along similar lines.
Yeah, but like before every point would start, I had to twist my racket 10 times. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't be ready to start the point. And I had to do this stupid thing where I had to step over the line and go back, and then step to the side and go back. I don't know if anybody ever noticed it, but like, I could never start a point before that. And it was just like my ritual. But I mean, I think OCD is a ritual having gone like extremely obsessive. But anyways, hoarders do have an obsessive mentality with regards to holding on to stuff, right? So going back to you now and how you're living, and the best way to answer this question is just by looking around and seeing what's around you. On a scale of 1 to hoarder, right? Those hoarders on TLC, where are you at? Where are you at?
Well, in the case that somebody hasn't seen the show, it's like the house is like packed with shit. Like, you can't walk, right? And I would say, like, what kind of things do you hang on to because you're like afraid to get rid of, right? Example, my mom. My mom has a drawer in her house. It's underneath the oven, and it happens to be the largest drawer of the drawers underneath the oven. And when you open this drawer, it is packed. Like, you almost can't close the drawer, even when it's organized to a T.
It's ridiculous.
Of Tupperware containers, margarine, butter containers, Cool Whip containers, other kind of like storage containers, like meal prep containers.
Can I just say that nobody should have margarine in their house? And if you do, toss that shit in the trash.
Just a side note, but she has literally every type of like container, sour cream containers, cottage cheese,
Cool Whip.
all
I
the
remember
plastic,
seeing the Cool Whip one.
all of these plastic things, and they're just like stacked, and then the lids are over here, and then there's this size, and then there's a bigger size back, and then there's a bigger size in the back, and then all the lids. And I'm like, one day I went through it and I was like, Mom, you can't even fit all of these in the fridge at one time if you wanted to. So why do you need them? Like, it's hard to rationalize and use like logic when you have a fear of lack. It's a scarcity mindset. And I'm actually, now that I say that out loud, that's probably where you're going with this. And if not, then great, I add more value.
Just wait to where I'm going. This might piss some people off because you might say that I'm generalizing, and I am generalizing for the most part, but I do have a theory which I stand very strongly on, and it's called how you do anything is how you do everything, right? And if you are the kind of person who has a hard time of letting things go, right? Like if you keep around lots of stuff, then can we all agree on the fact that you have a hard time letting things go? Or for you, it's not natural, right? So now, if you are not willing to let things go easily, right? Then you hold on to a lot of shit. Now, the way that the universe works is that energy is all around us, right? And it cannot be created or destroyed. It can just be transferred from one thing to the next, right? So if you have all this stored energy in your current environment and you become what you surround yourself with, then what do you think that does to your body? And it's also the mindset of how you do anything is how you do everything. You end up holding on to more stuff. And what do we hold on to in our body? Most of the time it's not muscle. That's what we want to. But in order to hold on to a lot of muscle, you have to eat really clean for a long period of time, and you have to work out really hard at the gym for a long period of time. Okay, so when you hold on to all these things, you're holding on to extra stored weight. It's a mindset. Scarcity mindset leads to weight gain. It's all about how you think, right? And that's why I tell you guys, I'm like, yo, nutrition is not your problem. It's the manifestation of a bigger problem. So in this case, it's the manifestation of having a hard time letting things go or not embracing change. So I have this bracelet right here that says this.
It's backwards to them.
Oh, but maybe you can still read it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you have a hard time letting things go, then you have a hard time changing. And if you have a hard time changing, then the only change that's going to happen in your body is increased regression with regards to your body composition and health status. So it's just a point to bring awareness with regards to how you're living and what does your environment look like and how that's actually affecting your body. It's not the MyFitnessPal, it's not the calories, it's how are you thinking, dude? Like, what are your thought patterns?
Can I finish my thought from 13 minutes ago?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Okay, great. So I took my mom's Tupperware drawer and I literally, like, I watched her cringe as I was like, Mom, you can't even close it. Like, something has to go. So I was taking things out and I was like, you get 2 of these, you get 4 of these. And like, I got rid of probably like half of her stuff. And I watched her just like, oh, are you sure? Like, I might need that. How many times have you said that to yourself when thinking about getting rid of something? I might need that. I might need that. I might wear that. If you haven't used it or worn it in a year, you do not need it. You do not need it.
Well,
And most of us think that we need a lot more things than we actually need. And so this is dumping over into a different topic, which would be what's actually necessary, and what do we need and what do we want. But when I got rid of this stuff, and this might be something that you resonate with, is like having this mindset of like, I might need that. You're holding on to
energy.
The past. You're holding on to the past. And if you're holding on to the past, which is backwards, which is behind you, you will go backwards and you will stay behind. Wow.
Paper drop.
So, if you have this issue, and it's not that one, if you're holding on to some things at your house being directly correlated with your fat, that's not, we can't say that, because my mom actually started working with us and lost a considerable amount of weight, and she's doing really well.
But before she started working with us, she had a considerable amount of weight to lose. So we can correlate that to the thought pattern.
But she's changed a different pattern in her life,
yes,
but she hasn't necessarily changed that pattern.
Right.
So that doesn't mean that, because you're hoarding shit that you're fat. That's not what we're saying. But it's likely that the mentality inside your mind is the same. And so look forward and move forward. Like what is necessary for me to have? And it's the same thing too when you're eating, right? Or when you're working out. Like, what do I need to do? What's necessary to have? And what do I just want? Mm-hmm. Right? Let's talk about if you go to a restaurant, and let's say this restaurant with friends and family or whatever, and let's say they have really good healthy options, and then they have like not healthy options, right? Now, what you need and what you want are two very different things. And how many times have you looked at a menu and so many things look good, you're like, oh, I want one of everything. Or like you go to Baskin Robbins. When I go to
a donut shop, I want to try it all.
Or you go to Baskin Robbins, you're like, I don't know what to choose because like I want all of them. And really at the end of the day, like what do you need? Obviously, you want to be satisfied, right? You want your food to look appealing. You want it to taste good. You want the texture to be ideal for you, but you also want it to serve you. So, we hang on. And also, how many times have your eyes been way bigger than your stomach? I know for me, like when I used to eat Taco Bell, I used to eat Taco Bell like 3 times a week. I shit you not. And ice cream every night. So when I would go to Taco Bell and I would be like, oh, I'm hungry. And I would order like a shit ton. And they're like, wow, this is way too much food. And it's like, it's that same mentality. Or like when something's on sale, oh, I must get like 40 of these. And it's the same scarcity mindset. Like, oh my God, like what if I never get to buy these again? Well, then there's probably going to be something better. Yeah. So it's okay. But it's that like, I don't really know how this directly correlates to weight and weight loss, honestly, but I think it's all very, very much aligned with just a mindset in itself, yes, of needing something versus wanting something, and not thinking scarcely, not thinking like, oh, there's a lack. Dude, we live in America and everything is supersized me. Yeah. So, you don't need to, if you don't finish the pizza at the restaurant for your fun meal that you had for the week, you don't need to take that shit home. It's okay. Nobody needs to eat that. You had that. You should have been intentional about it. So you had it. You don't need to take the rest home because you're scared to waste it. Give it to a homeless person. Yeah. Let go of it. Release. Let go.
So it's the concept of being resistant to change, and it's the concept of having a hard time of letting go of the past. Now, in order for you to be successful, here's the thing. You always have to remember where you've come from. You always have to, right? Because that makes the story so much better, and that humbles you, for one. But when you hold on to the past, you're not focusing on the future. But the only way to move forward is to focus on the future. I want you to think of yourself like an arrow, right? When an arrow moves forward, it doesn't point back. When it points back, it moves backwards. And your life is the same way. In order for you to create success, right? In order for you to go up, you have to look forward. You can't look back. So the more you look back, the more you hold on to stuff from your past, right? The more resistance you're creating, right? With regards to moving forward. And remember this concept: what you resist persists.
It's like trying to sprint with a parachute on your back.
Yeah.
Like you're making things so much harder for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's important to have a mindset where you're just open-minded and looking straight ahead. That's what allows you to stay focused. So now I want to ask you this question for those of you guys who are on your weight loss journey, right? Like, how many clothes do you have?
Ooh, this is going to be good.
That haven't served you in like years in your closet.
Can I add to that real quick before you like keep going with your
Or
thought?
how many?
Go ahead, say it.
Or also, how many clothes do you have from, let's say, when you were 2 sizes bigger, but you still hold on to it because you're like, just in case, if I ever get back that way. You're surely gonna get back that way. When with that mindset, hey, bitch, that train's going backward. It's only a matter of time.
So many people right now just went, fuck.
Yep.
Fuck. I know. I used to keep fat clothes too. But guess what happens when you get rid of it?
You have no option.
You burn the ships.
Burn the ships.
You're like, I don't even have clothes from there, so there's no going back now. Release it. Let it go. That's not you no mo. Release it. Let it go. That ain't you no mo.
So,
you have to give a second for people to laugh at my joke. You know when you tell a joke, you have to pause so people can laugh, and then you gotta teach her the rules. She don't know the rules. Okay, go.
So when I was at my heaviest, right, I went up to a size 9. Emily's dying right now. She's dying. This is amazing. So I went up to a size 9, and the day I had like my size 8 pants didn't fit anymore, and I'm like, shit, it's a size 9. This is what I told myself. I told myself, this is the only size 9 pants that you're ever gonna buy because you're not gonna stay there. I was so fucking ashamed of myself because naturally I'm a size 0. How I know it? Because this is where my body has been for years, and this is where it likes to be, right? Each and every one of y'all, like, you all have a point where your body's just happy being at, okay? And I guarantee you guys that for those of you watching, like 90% of you don't know what that is yet because you just haven't gone that far, right? Probably because you've been listening to preconceived notions and all these things, right? But like, we all have a size where our body is happy at, right? Like, I don't care if you're 30, I don't care if you're 40, I don't care if you're 50 or 60, right? Like, your body wants to naturally stay in its natural form, okay? But I was so ashamed of myself. I'm like, I'm not going to allow this to happen. And I started going downwards after that, like in weight. But I still was not on the right path. But when I got on the right path, eventually I got down to my happy shape where my body just likes to be in. You know, once you've gone to your right shape, you just know, like, things feel like, everything feels like tune. You can't really explain it, and the scale will never tell you what that is. But you feel it, right? It's a deeper feeling. But, you know, go back to yourself and think to yourself, like, based off of your own journey, like, if you've been yo-yoing your efforts, right? Like, how many times have you gone up and down? Like, do you keep in your closet all these, like, bigger shaped clothes? If so, you need to toss that shit out today. And in fact, why don't you help somebody out and put it in a bag and donate it? Donate it. Make good use out of it. But don't keep it to yourself. Because for one, if you're keeping it to yourself, you're selfish. Because somebody who needs it more than you right now could be wearing it. That's one. And for two, by holding on to it, you are resisting moving forward. By playing the just in case game.
May I?
Yeah, please.
I was trying to read through some of the comments, so I have to admit I missed a couple of things that you said. But to address, you guys still got it. But to address, and I'm pretty sure it's a joke, but they're like, I have fat clothes and skinny clothes, right? And
yep,
you hang on to the skinny clothes, right? You hang on to the skinny clothes because you have hope. You hang on to the fat clothes just in case, like Sarit was talking about. I guess I did hear things. And so I think it was Danita that made a joke and said, like, I have skinny clothes, like, or I hang on to those too. Why haven't I gone back there yet? And here's the thing, is that if you are hanging on, like, it's easier to be, it's not easier. So how do I say this right? It's easier to be overweight from it's not, man, how can I say this? It's not easier because, for one, most people don't like being overweight. For two, physically, your body has a harder time functioning. So it's not necessarily easier. I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but it is more likely that people are overweight than not, because it's hard to do the right thing in the wrong environment. You are in America and there is shit food everywhere. The media and the marketing of the food industry are telling you things are good that are not good. So you then are buying into that. And so it is just more likely for you to be overweight than not. And so if you have bigger clothes and you have smaller clothes, it's more likely for you to go back to the bigger clothes. You have to make an effort consistently in order to go the opposite direction, because it's upstream. You're swimming against the current. Why against the current? Because
the current is going downwards.
The current is the direction that most are going. And if you are not most, you're going against the current and there's resistance. That was...
And that's the importance of being in a supportive environment.
Yep.
Because the stream is moving in the same direction that you want to go. Otherwise, you're going upstream. Now, for anybody who's like, okay, but I also have my skinny clothes, which I'm holding on to. The next question that you need to ask yourself is, why am I not wearing, why am I not there yet? Well, there is two things that you have to consider, okay? The first thing that you have to consider is, do you have all the tools in your toolbox in order to get there? It's not just going to come to you if you're not doing the right thing. It's not, right? Like, for example, like going to school versus going to med school. Just because you're going to school doesn't guarantee that you go to med school. You have to be a straight A student, and I know that back in my day, I think the minimum requirement was a 3.8 GPA.
There's qualifications.
Yeah, you have to have the right tools so that you can do the right thing. right? So now if you're like, why am I not fitting into my skinny clothes? Well, for one, I can assume that you probably don't have the right tools. You don't know what to do. So maybe if you are putting in effort but you're not there, you're just not doing the right thing.
Or you have to also consider, how long have I been consistent?
Well, that's
because it could be that you've only been doing it for a week, right?
or a month.
Or you've been doing it for 3 months, but you've done better than normal, but you still kind of are not, you're not showing up the best for yourself that you could. And then sometimes you're really good, and then sometimes you're not. And it's this kind of like inconsistent wave. So you also have to consider the amount of time that you've been doing it and actually been consistent.
Sure, but also there's another part to it. The next thing that you have to consider is, how committed am I to actually fit in those? If this shit is in the back of your drawer, I can guarantee you 100% that you're not committed. You're not committed. You're hopeful. If things work well, right? That's the difference versus want and desire. Most people want to lose weight, but only a few desire to lose weight.
Want and commitment. I would say commitment's strong.
Right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you? And your level of commitment is in alignment with your level of sacrifice. Aha! How willing are you to make the changes, to let go of things, thought patterns, actions, things, right? In order to create the change. And that's the whole concept of this conversation. Because if you have a hard time letting go of things, then you have a hard time making sacrifices. But here's the thing. If you do not make sacrifices, then nothing is going to change. See where I'm going with that? So you have to focus on, okay, do I have all the tools in my toolbox in order to do the right thing more often than not? If not, who do I know that I need to reach out to that can help me to have all these tools in my toolbox? Just like if we need to, let's say, put up a new picture, right? Like, and we don't have all the tools, we got to go to Home Depot or something, right?
In order to find who has the tools. Where are they?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the next...
First, you have to identify what the tools you need.
Right.
But you might not even know. I don't even know. Hey, I want to build my own refrigerator. I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to say, hey, I don't know what I need. What tools do I need? Where do I start? How do I make this happen? What do I need to buy?
But it all starts and ends with your level of commitment. So ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed am I? And a 10 being like extremely committed is somebody who will make any sacrifice necessary in order to get there. Not when it's convenient, not when it's comfortable. If that's where you're at, then this is your problem. You're just not committed. Right? So the skinny pants are always going to stay in the back of the drawer. They're not in front of you. You're not focusing on that. You want it, right? But under certain circumstances, no. There's only, like, in order for you to actually fit into those pants, there's no option. Like, that's got to be the only pair of pants that you have in your drawer that you see. You're like, shit, man. Like, if I don't, like...
Well, you need pants to wear. You can't just not wear pants.
Right.
You could not wear pants, see how it goes.
You get what I'm saying, but if this is all you see, right, then it puts in the forefront of your head, shit, man, I can't leave the house today if I don't fit into this.
Daisy said, wear the sizes that are too small so you're so uncomfortable.
That's what I used to do, Daisy. That's what I used to do. It was a reminder. I'm like, you better fucking keep your shit together.
I've totally done that. And Daisy also said something else. She's like, I could wear 3 different sizes when Mother Nature visits. You still shouldn't need to wear 3 different sizes.
But Daisy, you are starting your journey, and Daisy, you've been crushing it, by the way. So I want to give you a huge shout out. You are still starting your journey, and you have been going all in. Like, Daisy is a great example of burn the ships kind of person. She's just moving forward. But because there's so much change happening, your body is still not in where it wants to be yet. So like when it's that time of the month, it's more extreme. It's not always going to be like that. Like 1 year from now, those days are going to look way different. Yep.
That's it.
What does that have to do with being a hoarder?
Don't hold on to shit you don't need.
Don't hold on to shit. And by the way, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you hold on to a lot of things, you also hold on to a lot of emotions. If you hold on to a lot of emotions, I guarantee you that maybe emotional eating is kind of a thing for you. I'm always good until.
Okay, I'm going to say something and you have to pause afterwards, okay?
Yes.
If you don't get rid of the junk in your trunk, you ain't gonna get rid of the junk in your trunk. I kill myself. All right, well, that's today's episode, everybody. And housekeeping. Today's day 5 of the Transformation Kickstarter Challenge.
Today is the first, what I would like to call separator with regards to how committed are you? Because today's uncomfortable.
Today's going to make some people feel some things for maybe a couple days.
Yep.
So, anyways, yes, and that's it.
Yeah, so today's day 5. We will be going live later today at 9 a.m. in order to discuss day 5's challenge. For those of you guys who are keeping on with regards to the challenge, congratulations, keep up the great work. For those of you guys who have given up, I challenge you to start again today. Start from day 5, okay? It's not about being perfect. It's about doing better. And that's probably the one thing that you've been struggling the most with. That mindset. Okay?
Mm-hmm. For those of you who are wondering, when is my next stand-up comedy show? I do it every night in the shower. Audience of 1, myself. Occasionally Boogie.
What about me? Last night it was both of us, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, they have to see him right now. It's amazing.
Look at that arm. Is that comfortable, really? Seriously?
He does not even care.
It's his chicken wing. He got a chicken wing.
Hashtag so tired.
We make fun. We do this.
Yeah.
I'm Boogie. Anyways, so yes.
But speaking of your comedy show,
I really should I thought about doing remember when I said I wanted to put a camera in the shower that just showed like from like here up of me just like saying shit. I swear, you guys, you think I'm funny here because I do, but in the shower, like, I don't know where this shit comes from. I literally did an entire stand-up comedy out of my ass a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing. And I was like, I wish somebody could have recorded that. My greatest thoughts in the shower.
Yeah. Jerry will buy tickets to your shower show.
Emily will be the first one. Buying them from a whole family.
Bring my diapers too.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, okay, so we love you guys.
Wait. I do want to say a couple of things because we keep things nice and tight with you guys. Hold on.
I cannot understand. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know how big it's going to be. I mean, so we got invited to speak at an event, which is awesome. And we don't know the details, but it's pretty cool. Because I don't know about you, but I've imagined myself speaking in front of audiences
it's the first
for a long time.
of many and way bigger events.
Yeah. So anyways, we will be speaking. If anybody wants to know more information or has any kind of interest in going, we will be happy to share the information with you as we get more. It is going to be, I think it's November 21st, 22nd, which is the weekend before Thanksgiving.
And I think it's in Idaho.
And I believe it's in Idaho. So not sure if you would want to go. It is a 2-day event. But in the case that you do, we'd be happy to share more info with you about like who it's actually for. Do you want to go just to like hear us talk? Because you really can hear us talk for free.
Or just hang out with us.
Yeah.
Afterward.
Do you want to go to hang out with us? Do you want to go because the information that you will learn and the tools that you will get from it will be valuable to you in business? Maybe. So anyways, not a comedy show. But I'm sure it will be funny.
It's not a 10X conference. That's in February. And
But honestly,
what?
Ben is fucking hilarious too.
Yes, he
so if you're like, it's gonna be, I'm sure he's gonna say some shit that you'll laugh at. But anyways, not a comedy show. It is business related. It's kind of gonna be like what he described it to me was like a big mastermind or a small conference somewhere in there.
So probably a few hundred.
He said 25 to 50 people. Okay. And I said, do you have room for more? Because if we share it with our community, I'm not sure what you'll get out of it. So anyways, he did say tickets are going to range between, I think, $297 a ticket and $5,000 per ticket. So I don't know what the difference in any of that is, but I'm happy to share with you guys once we get more info.
Yeah. Also, we are going to have all these episodes.
Yeah!
On podcast. It's going to be a thing.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for us to get all of the past episodes uploaded, but it is going to be on multiple different streams. I believe Spotify and Apple are 2 of them as well, which can be fucking amazing. I don't know what else he said, Anchor and something and something and something, but we have a team that is going to help us to do this, which is amazing. So you will be able to listen on different platforms as well without having to keep like a YouTube thing open if you're watching this on YouTube. Which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell notification for when we upload some new shit.
That looks really wrong.
This looks more wrong.
No.
Than this? What do you think of when I do that? What is that?
Say it.
What is this?
We're not gonna
say it.
No.
Does anybody know what she's talking about? I'm just gonna keep doing it because now I feel like it's awkward.
Well, this makes me. This, I mean, it explains one thing, but this like makes me think of like just like rubbing out like a ball sack or something.
What kind of ball sack are you rubbing out?
Yeah, I saw it in the movie. Who did that? Like, which actor did that? Like,
oh, it was White Chicks.
Yes, that's why. Exactly why. Yes.
Which one of you wipes his ass and which one of you holds the balls?
So gross.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
all right.
gross.
Anyways, okay, guys.
That's that for today. Remember, on Monday we will not have an episode. Okay, so we will resume our episodes on Tuesday for Q&A day. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, just go to the announcements and click the link, ask your question, and who knows, maybe we'll answer your question on Tuesday. By the way, there's never, I feel like sometimes people are scared to ask questions because they're like, I don't feel like it's a good question. No question is ever like a bad question. Not asking a question is bad. So just putting it out there.
If you want to know, you gotta ask.
Yep. Get them tools in that.
All right, so are we actually ending the show now?
We are. Yeah,
okay,
that's
great.
it.
Hey, you guys have a fantastic Friday. Let me see them.
You want to sit down and say hi?
I have to flex that one because you can't really see as much on this side. Don't flex next to me. That's rude. Because now my biceps look like string beans. Okay, so anyways, guys, have an amazing day. have fun with your challenge. If you're scared of it, just chip away. You're going to get through it. We'll see you at 9 Pacific time for that one. Bye.